We are bringing East Coast time in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to episode 205 of the Guardian Hub podcast, where we talk Destiny, interview guests, and talk about our love of the game. And I have a cough in the back of my throat, and this is annoying. Take it away, Sen and Dez.
Does that make you a chungus, since you have something in the back of your throat?
I guess. I need some water here or something.
We need to cut, pause, and edit and splice this show like Gator.
Oh, come on, just start talking.
We're the podcast that asks, do you have water before you podcast?
Oh no, don't do that shit.
Aim to please.
All I could reach, the closest thing I had was a beer, so I'll have to do that.
I really don't think that's a problem though.
Right? Oh no, I only have this tasty alcoholic beverage right next to me. Whatever shall I do?
Yeah, in my mini fridge right here. I don't have any water bottles right now, only alcoholic drinks.
You're bringing the beer. I'm bringing the strawberries and cream DP.
DP? Sen likes DP?
Dr. Pepper.
No, that's after dark. That's after dark.
Get your mind out of the gutter. This is before dark.
So, recent news in the Discord today, we've had discussions about time zones and morning versus afternoon versus evening. And Sin doesn't understand because he thinks the only time zone is Eastern in the whole world. And so he's like, it's afternoon for everyone right now. Because it was afternoon for him. When half of the US was still in the morning, let alone a lot of the rest of the world.
I get that. It's a joke, though. I know there are different time zones.
Do you,
I definitely do. I do. I don't recognize them as time zones, but I do know there are other time zones.
Yeah, so we like to give you a hard time about it.
It's
funny. Yeah, go ahead.
I was about to say, I make my greetings depending upon what I am. If you're not there, sorry. But
of course. Of course. I have to give Sin a hard time about it. Because, like, today, at least it was half of the U.S. was Eastern time, or it was past noon. But there will be times where it's like 12:01 and Sin's like, good afternoon. It's afternoon for everyone. I'm like, no, only a fourth of the U.S. so far.
I mean, technically, anytime after 12:01 p.m., even if it's 1 a.m. in the morning, it's still after 12:01 p.m.
It's time for a beer.
It's time for a beer.
Yeah,
that means it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 12 o'clock somewhere. And yes, it is also 12 o'clock somewhere else in the world. If you're just going by the 12-hour clock, but
right.
Yep. Well, anyways, what are we up to this evening? My throat's getting a little bit better, but what else is new in life or gaming besides Destiny?
Excuse me.
Apparently, a burp is happening.
All right.
It's called the burpening.
That came out of nowhere.
Des, you take it away.
Yeah. Take it away from Sin. Take it away from Sin. We don't want Sin to have it.
Take everything away from Sin. I don't know. I guess I would feel awful if I guess went ahead and if I forgot to bring the party down immediately and recognize the tragic passing of Lance Reddick.
Hey, I'm glad you brought it up. I might have forgotten.
Right. I know I did when we were guesting elsewhere, but yeah, I didn't. Of course, hilariously, I guess not really hilariously, but I didn't know how old the man was until he passed, and it's like, holy crap, he was 60.
Yeah. I
60
don't think
years
I
young.
did either. Yeah, 60 years young for him for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just that actually hit me pretty hard because Lance Reddick just as a human being is just hilarious, and he's actually probably or was um, one of the few like voice actors that let me say one of the few original voice actors that really like kind of amalgamated himself into the community, like not just as Zavala, but you know, like I was telling my wife, I remember seeing on his Twitter how, especially during pandemic, he'd post something on Twitter. I was like, "Yep, about to go record in my closet and something for Destiny," and that was like it. And yeah, but yeah, I just thought that was like really cool that he would do that, and such and things. Yeah,
I know. And we all know of him as playing Destiny, also liking the game. And Rodimus posted an article in the live chat that supposedly people discovered when they examined one of his accounts, which was I don't care 789. Supposedly they found out people knew that was one of his accounts. Supposedly he was active the night before his death on that account.
oh wow.
Yeah. So that just makes it even more interesting and sad. And I don't know. I mean, it's not more sad. It already was sad enough, but it's just so interesting that he was one of these people in the community with us.
Yeah. And like I said, out of the original voice cast, I think he was the only one that was that, like, embedded.
Yeah, maybe Nathan Fillion played some, I think I heard, but I don't know. I always knew Lance Reddick was the main player.
Yeah, like, I mean, oh God, not Nathan Fillion, but Nolan North is pretty integrated into the community as well as like the voice actor for Crow. But like I said, those were, second and third and fourth string, but yeah. I mean, that's like the voice actor for Shax, who is a great actor, but he definitely just plays Shax, and that's it. And, yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it was very tragic, and it did a thing to me that I was not anticipating.
My wife too was very upset, and she also loves him. I mean, definitely in the game, but like we have watched Fringe recently.
Yeah, that's the name of that show. Thank you for the love of.
Yeah,
I
Fringe.
could not remember the name of that show.
So
Fringe. Good. Yeah, no, yeah, it was so. I think that was the first thing I saw him in, and
I
yeah,
always call that show like if you mix X-Files and Lost. I know it's not exactly like that, but it's really fun, kind of like
with
that.
a little.
Never actually saw that though.
With a
little bit of what?
Touch of like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas as well.
Satan, you got to watch it. It's really good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's a good science fiction show, but also has like a very healthy like comedy aspect to it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, it kind of has definitely like a feel like X-Files. Like you got the skeptics, you got the believers, you got conspiracies going on, and then you have like really crazy stuff going on, kind of like Lost. And then there's a whole drama aspect to it, and yeah, it's really good.
And then the smartest guy in the show just occasionally does LSD on the side,
Oh,
whatever.
Yes. That's right.
Just casually takes some like hardcore recreational drugs. No big. Just to see what it does.
Yeah, and 2 Aussie actors as leads. Helio says that Olivia, she is, right? I'm trying to remember who the Aussie actors
I think
are.
so. Yeah, really good show, and it gets weird too. Oof, but no, yeah. So, Yeah, likewise, that was the first thing I saw him in. And I don't know, he just seemed so typecastable into that that kind of uptight, straight edge, by the book kind of guy, like Zavala.
Yeah, it's true. And he's kind of like that in The Wire also. He's like a police chief somewhere, someone high up. He's not as much in that show as like Fringe, but played great roles in there also.
Yeah.
I just don't remember as much from that. And of course, also voice actor from Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
Oh, did he do
Yeah, Silas, is that his name?
yes.
Plus, he looked like
Yeah.
him too. They actually took his likeness.
Yeah. Yeah, it tripped me out hearing his voice, man. It's like, oh. It's like, he sounds familiar.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's good we're talking about this because that's right. We record on Thursday nights and this happened on Friday and a lot of other podcasts already covered it, but we hadn't yet. And
Yeah.
speaking of, let's talk about our circuit for some of us on different podcasts. So Friday night, it was just me. I was a guest on Guardian Downcast. Listen to them to see how I do on the speed run and have, I wish there was rum involved, but have discussions about the raid. And then Saturday night, we were all kind of, little minus Sin, but we were all kind of guests on Blueberry Lounge. So definitely check out those. Yeah.
I gave it a good 30 minutes.
And then you're like, I'm out.
No, I mean, unfortunately, I had already had something scheduled, and I was late leaving from work. So I spent the little time that I had in between in my tight schedule there to actually join up. But it was fun. And I enjoyed it.
I don't know why I was thinking when you said in my tight schedule and my tight pants.
Nah, dog. No.
Or are you rocking the 90s super loose pants?
No, but speaking of my pants, let's talk about life stuff here real quick. Literally, they're starting to fray around my crotch area.
I didn't want that image in my head.
Yeah, like literally, it looks like there's going to be a hole there soon. And I sent a picture to my wife. Yes.
Is there an alien growing out?
No.
There's going to be a hole.
But I don't like buy a lot of clothes. Like I am like cheap when it comes to clothes. Like I'll wear something until it wears out, basically. And literally, these ones are about to that point where they're wearing out to where I'm going to have to replace them.
Oh God! Don't look at the chat. Yeah, that's too bad. No, I get what you're saying. I think many to most guys are like that, right? We don't want to buy a lot of clothes.
True.
Yeah, true story.
The only thing I like to buy, but I still don't end up popping lots of money. So occasionally I will, but I like shoes. Like I'll occasionally be okay buying a couple of nice pairs of shoes. I'm like, oh, these are interesting, and these are interesting, and these are interesting. But when it comes to other clothes, I'm like, minimum acceptable. Like let's just do this and this and be done with it.
Yeah, my wife normally yells at me to buy socks because I will wear them ragged.
So the holes are in them, and you have to throw them away.
Yeah.
I like to get my socks at Costco now, and then get them another pack 3 years later. I don't know. See how long it lasts.
I wish they would last me 3 years. But,
Yeah, I honestly don't know.
Awful on socks.
IRS, get out of here. I still haven't finished my taxes, although I hope to within the next week or two, because I got to get on that April 15th. But
You still got 3 weeks. You'd be all right.
Yeah, I'll be all right.
So Destiny.
All right. Yeah, Destiny.
I finished a lot this week.
You actually played the game?
Oh, yes. I stayed up to 2 a.m. I was bewildered that I had to do that, though. But I did it. I got a chance to raid with GoHawks. Haven't raided with him in a while. And we did finish it. Did finish the raid. And last night, I was debating on getting on or not, but I did. I ended up getting it on. I did another raid over in was voice chat was over in GDC with a few folks, and went fairly well. Got it done. Unfortunately, I don't have my other characters done where I could have taken advantage of some sweet loot, but had fun either way. And also, I was able to catch up on 2 weeks of the seasonal story, where we unfortunately get to see Amanda Holliday.
Okay, hold on. Well, I guess we don't have to. I was going to talk about things I've done too, but yeah. Okay, what do we get to see about her, Sin? I guess we'll do that, and then we'll come back.
Yeah, we can come back. I mean, that's it for me after that. Otherwise,
Sin likes to pile many things on where we don't get a chance to go back and discuss.
In all fairness, I saw that she had died in the spoiler chats, right? Because I see everything in our Discord, so I don't block that out. I just go with it, and it is what it is. And I was not expecting that, the blast to just engulf her like that. I thought that was an intriguing way to do it. Definitely sad to see us lose a character with her in there. Didn't realize that she wasn't a guardian. I kind of always thought since she was in the tower that she was a guardian, but I guess she wasn't.
Yeah, because everyone in the tower is a guardian.
I mean, it feels legit. But yeah, I thought they did the cinematic well with it. It wasn't as dramatic as the shooting the ghost with Cade, but I think they did it well for her character.
Okay. So did you know before? I mean, yes, we talked about some things, but even before the season started, that was a rumor for a while, or a leak, or whatever you call it. Had you been up with it then, or was it just more recently that you?
No, I knew with the spoiler alert gun coming back that it was going to be something, right? But I didn't know who it was going to be, and I wasn't keeping up with it, and I didn't see anything that popped in our spoiler channel at least, and if it did, I missed it. So it was kind of when I saw it in the spoiler channel for the seasonal event or the weekly seasonal. That's when I knew. I didn't know prior.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I didn't really know, which was kind of fun, even though I knew a spoiler that she would most likely die, and even if I hadn't read that, it was kind of obvious the clues and the subtext that they were giving us in the story each week. All of a sudden, Amanda Holliday is more involved, and Crow's talking to her a lot, and she's giving and there's her backstory the week before. I'm like,
right.
Why is there so much attention all of a sudden? You know what I mean? So the only thing I didn't guess was how quickly it would come. And that's where I thought maybe very end of the season, an epilogue or something. And then I started seeing some things flash for this week. And this week's story, I wasn't able to get on as quickly, obviously same day for me still, but I was like, oh, I got to check this out. And there's a lot of talk. Basically, most of the consensus is people don't love how quickly it happened and how exactly it happened. I basically like how it happened. I thought it was very cinematic. It was kind of quick and a really cool shot of this explosion that she got engulfed in. It seemed like she knew it was going to happen at least anywhere from a split second before to a few minutes before, because that's something she says at the end. The only thing I think it could have made it a little bit better is maybe just another line to recognize that. It's not like they have to put it down our throats, but and she probably didn't want to worry everyone, even though she knew it was going to happen. But it would have been kind of cool if she was even muttering under her breath, oh man, this is it. You know what I mean? Or something like that. And then just give it a few more seconds for us to kind of process that. And we're like, what's it? How does she know? And then the explosion happens. But I mostly liked it. And did you watch it, Des, or read anything about it?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they were dropping some hints that things were happening, that you knew things were going to go away for sure, because just her and Crow starting to talk again is kind of a big deal. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. At the very least, we did get to hear, I guess, hear from her and like the whole backstory thing and such. And we heard um more about her pre-death than we did Cade, uh, for sure, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Cade just kind of died, and that's when we found out the majority of his backstory, which also may or may not actually be there because he's an XO. So that's a whole other thing. But yeah,
I also like generally how it went down. Some people are like, well, how come it wasn't more like some dramatic thing and like a ship battle? But I actually kind of like how it was different. We haven't really seen her much at all, or I don't know, action wise outside of her ship, other than talking to her in the towers and things like that. And this was kind of unexpected. She actually came down and was doing things, and it was, to me, it was kind of cool, actually, and different. So I liked that
Yeah.
part enough.
yeah, for sure.
Sorry, Mo. We're going to have less confusion in the future. Yes, this chat. We'll see how it goes. But
and by see how it goes, meaning it'll probably be here going forward.
okay, Sin. I see you made the executive decision. I'm probably okay. with
I
it.
said probably. I said probably okay. I left it super vague. Not really.
Also, I will say it was borderline graphic for still a teen-rated game.
Yeah.
Was it though? You didn't see any gore.
No, but you still saw her engulfed in flames.
I mean,
Like,
kind
very
of.
clear. Kind of nothing.
I mean, it's not like you saw any like charring or bones out of it.
Okay,
It was
but
like
Sin,
it flashed
that would,
red and then went away from that cutscene.
of course, but then it would have to be, couldn't be rated T for teen. But this is, I get what Des is saying. This is like, if you got some like 10-year-old playing this or 12-year-old and they're like, oh, they could get nightmares by that, even with what we did see.
I mean, potentially, but yeah, it's definitely one of those scenes that kind of it pushes the envelope slightly, which also hilariously is kind of what they did with Cade. Even though they didn't show, or not really Cade, but I guess with Aldrin's death, they didn't really show it. But I mean, you see two people standing over him, armed, and you hear two gunshots, and it's like, you know what happened? Like, what is it? Implied violence, I believe, is the terminology for it.
Well, yeah, and like I kind of, without trying to be insensitive to anything, this is a fine line, but I'm imagining like Crow now going all crazy and kamikaze and like,
Well, I mean, didn't he have
shooting
that
up a bunch of bad
line?
guys or something? You know what I mean? Like going crazy off the wall.
He had that voice line and saying something about the Guardian being ready, and he'll know that we'll know when he's ready or something like that at the end of that story part. Did you not catch that?
I don't think I did.
Yeah, it was when they brought her back to the farm and
Sin
Vala
caught
was-
something more than me.
Yes, he mentioned something about being ready, that we would know when that was time. That it's all about vengeance, and they mentioned vengeance.
Okay. But yes, and obviously there should be something like that. But I'm like, I would have liked to see just him go off immediately. I don't know.
I don't. But yeah. It potentially handled it a little weird, but yeah. Kind of a surprise though. I really didn't anticipate Amanda to be one on the hit list, to be honest.
Yeah, but I think it worked enough. I cared
Oh, yeah.
somewhat. It's not like I didn't care at all. And if you would have asked me like a year or two or 3 or 4, like she was one of my least favorite characters. Not like she's moved up a lot, but I think they did enough for me to at least care somewhat.
Yeah, I mean she's basically a glorified background character instead of a background character these days. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, like I said, she's definitely something of a favorite. I wouldn't say exactly a favorite. I don't know. she at least has enough intrigue that it definitely, like I said, the point definitely comes across. It's just, I guess I would have figured for the shock value, the more obvious targets.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what's really interesting is we still have one more week of the main quest line. If you look at the triumphs,
Yeah.
So Crow could be doing stuff next week, or I was again expecting this to be like a capstone of the first half of the season, or something that was in a prologue. But this isn't even either of those. This is the fourth out of the 5 quest steps. If you look at the triumphs. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
What's everyone's over/under on her being when she's going to be resurrected as a guardian?
I don't care. I don't know if I want her to. I don't care.
I mean,
Wow, that's insensitive.
Oh, come on.
Probably
It's not
going to happen.
that. You think so? Oh.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I would not be surprised. I just hope it doesn't take like 2 years, like whenever they teased Crow's rising to, oh, hey, yeah, he's actually alive and a guardian now. So, yeah.
Were you really crying, RNG? Crying your eyes out? I mean, maybe. No. The answer is no.
You want to see a bunch of people cry, kill Mara.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
People would
I mean,
riot.
I'd be upset. I don't know if cry is the. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Don't you say that. RNG says, don't you say that one.
Right.
I think he put a little more expletive on that one.
For
Little
Guardian
more
After Dark. Yeah.
Oh Lord. All right. So yeah, moving away from that bad juju.
Yeah, I want to talk more about what we've done this last week because there's definitely more to talk about.
I got mine in
there's-
house. Dez.
Okay, and then I'll go.
Yeah, Kingsley, go ahead.
We'll loop back around if we want or if we need. But yeah, lots of raids and stuff I pulled up. I was wondering, Sin, how many you've done so far, and then I just pulled up both our stats. I think you have 4 clears and I have 5 clears, so only one more. But I did get to, without even really realizing, 10 Sherpas, and I now have the Sherpa emblem I'm going to put it on right now, and you can do a live update and inspect me, Sin, if you care. I mean, this...
I have to.
No, you don't have to. And this emblem isn't even that interesting. It's called Icarus Ascended, and it's an orange emblem. I mean, I like the color, but I don't know if I'm going to be rocking this forever. But one reason why we're kind of talking about it is because it seems like the last 2 raids before this one, they never had the carry emblem ready from day one.
Oh, yeah.
So we always had to get more than 10 Sherpas because it wasn't counting the first several, but at least this time it counted all the Sherpas.
Yeah, it seems they finally fixed that. That's good.
Nice.
Yes, so I now have a cooler emblem than Sin.
I'm not a big fan. It's a little plain, bright, and vibrant. Like it doesn't like scream to me. Like I like
Plain and vibrant at the same time.
yeah, it's plain with the color being at bright orange. It's just a vibrant color, but it's with the actual symbol on there. It just seems plain. Like I like the color scheme of the actual raid emblem itself. Not the day one, the one that you can just from completing the raid, right? Like I like that. It's got a cool little symbol in there, and it's got. I like it. It's got some dark tones, some lighter tones in there. I like it.
Yeah, I
Orange
don't
thing,
actually
not so much.
I don't actually love this, but again, if I inspect it really close, there is some text in here that says Kingsley Mac is cooler than Sin. Okay, so that's what's cool about it.
Emotional damage.
But yeah, the raid. We don't have to say too much else about it, but we're still kind of agreeing probably what we've said on the shows, right? It's generally easier, but I've also here's the weird thing, and I don't remember it being like this. I know it probably was a little bit with like King's Fall and Vault of Glass and these other raids, but I'm getting runs now where we're just a couple weeks in and we're getting them already down to like an hour 15. But then I have other runs, and I guess you could say this with everything, but it's just I have this weird feeling like it's going to be super easy or super hard because I've run some with some crews that are still like this 3-4 hour range and people having a hard time with the ads. So again, it's the ads. There's a lot more. They're harder hitting. They come at you faster. You need to clear them quickly. Even though the mechanics aren't technically challenging, if you can't stay alive and control the ads, people could still have a problem with this raid. So that's all I kind of wanted to say on that. Unless you have anything else, Sin.
Nah, I agree. It's if to me it feels easy, but like you said, if it's certain crews might take a little bit longer than others on it, and certain encounters, especially people learning some of the encounters there. I'm still going to be interested in going for the title for it, and I know Master. I don't have to talk about it right now because it'll come up in the TWAB here shortly, but I'm going to go for the title. We'll just leave it at that. I probably won't play it as much as King's Fall, and I'm hoping I get the exotic before that point.
Yeah, I'll probably go for Master 2. Why not? This one will probably be an easier one to do so, and it'll give us something to do for the next month or so. But yeah, Mohalfa kind of confirms in chat too. His last 3 clears, he has a 1.4 hour clear, and then a 3.3 and a 4.2. So it's like kind of a big spread there.
Yeah.
Speaking of short runs and long runs, so I want to shout out Larman Kentucky, right? I haven't played with him in a minute. He was in the raid group from last night. A couple people were going ahead, and I started too because I just joined it and I just didn't want to do much. I just wanted to get through it, right? Because I didn't want to spend 4 hours, and I just wanted to go on and do other things because I had a lot to catch up on. And he ended up falling a little bit behind on one of those spots, the spot between third and fourth encounter, I think it is, with those pulses, and you got to keep re-upping the buff. He literally said, longer it takes me back here, longer it's going to take you all to complete the raid. Or he said it to something to that effect. So I just kind of laughed. So just, it's good that he spoke up, but just a reminder out there to everybody that, especially the new raid, don't leave the other Guardians behind, especially if they're struggling, because that part sucks.
I think Sen needs that reminder more than most.
I do.
Yeah, love you, Larman, Kentucky. Seen you in more of the raid lately too. And has Gator hopped back in yet? I don't know. We'll see. I do know it's Iron Banner this week though, so good excuse for a lot of people to not hop back in, I suppose. Supposedly there's talk too about people boycotting Iron Banner this week because it's the mode that they don't like. I don't even know what that means. I mean, I boycott Crucible all the time because I don't like Crucible. I just don't play it. I don't make a big deal of it.
Yeah.
But
I don't get it. If you want to play it, just play it. Don't boycott it because something dumb happened or it's not something you like. If you want to play it, play it. And if you got friends that want to play with you, play with them. Who cares?
I mean, good Lord. The majority of the fan base boycotts Gambit, and that's still here.
That is true.
And people still play it. Speaking of,
whatever. I don't think too many are playing it these days. Oh, we should look. This is always a fun. Charlemagne has somewhat live stats, and I know it's only people that register, but it's a good kind of pulse on what people are doing in the game. So, talk for a second, Sin, while I look this up. What live update? What are you doing in the game?
I was in orbit, just staring at the screen. Now I'm loading in to go see Nimbus because I really don't know what I want to do in the game right now, other than maybe grind some pinnacles out. Somebody in one of the Discords mentioned maybe doing a dungeon. I mean, I
kind of want to do the Nightfall, the Vexcalibur on Legend, but I don't know if I'll have time after the show.
I mean, I still need to do that. I just finished the expert node quest from last week. I don't know if there's another one that dropped this week because that's how far behind I am. And I do need to hop back in there to complete that node on the Vexcalibur itself.
speaking of Excalibur and Asher Mir,
Yes.
I did notice. I'm assuming it's one of these node runs. It shows that Asher has been maintaining a manual simulation of the Veil, which is interesting. Because I know Mithrax mentions, or kind of exposits, that dark and light cannot be predicted because they're paracausal. But somehow Asher's maintaining a simulation of the Veil itself, kind of suggesting he might have willingly allowed himself to turn into a Vex. That way he could subvert the system and maintain this, or I guess potentially go deeper into this study of the Veil. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But we do have, we're still no closer to knowing who, what, when, why for the Veil. But we do know that Asher is still exploring it. That's curious to me.
Yeah.
And also definitely puts Asher on the same scale as Toland. Whenever we found out he was still floating around the ascendant plane.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't see their site must be having problems right now. I'm at the page where they can show you real-time Guardian activity, but it is blank right now on all browsers. So, without that, what do we want to talk about in the TWAB, if anything?
Raid.
Yeah,
What, a new raid's coming out? I'm just kidding.
What, Challenges and Master coming out next week?
Yeah, is it always this early? I feel like I'm always surprised how early it can come around.
It seems early to me, but yeah. Raid Master mode and Challenge rotation starts next week.
Yep.
And that's literally the news of the TWAB, other than
a bunch of TLDRs.
Yeah, a bunch of TLDRs. I guess the recap of Lance's passing. Something about the blog for matchmaking.
That's true. Yeah, that was earlier in the week.
Which I did not read that.
Yeah, that's okay. One thing that's cool in the TWAB, which we've touched on a little bit, is they fixed a couple of annoying issues that specifically happens to people that have higher frame rates. Both the Thresher thing and the pushy pads in the raid are not. That was an issue. They also said if you have higher frames, and so
they fixed that, or they mentioned fixing it in the future.
No, that was fixed today, I believe. I'm going to go to the patch.
Yeah, there's a hot fix that came out.
Yeah,
today. Which was curious because the hot fix was posted after the TWAB, so that's a late hot fix if you ask
me. Okay, maybe that wasn't fixed today. Yep.
I thought that was mentioned in the TWAB, and that was one of the future fixes.
Yeah, but the Threshers were fixed today for sure.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's one of the future fixes, but it is cool that they talked about that.
I just want you to take this moment in and remember that I don't always read the TWAB, but when I do.
When you do.
He barely reads it.
I barely read it.
Now,
and I at least remembered something.
But you probably don't read the hotfix, so do you know, Sin, how to get around second encounter bug? Don't read it right now.
They did mention that, and I don't remember what they said. Second encounter. I know they mentioned using Strand was a good way to to
No,
get
they
back
didn't.
and forth. They did mention something about Strand in that encounter, I do believe.
No, how to get past the bug though, which this is the funniest thing happened here. So they were going to fix an issue with a weapon. I'll tell you the weapon at the end. That could be
Oh,
used to get past the shields that you can only normally shoot if you have the buff. But they
yeah.
actually didn't fix that issue. It was one of those things where they said it was going to be fixed, but they didn't actually get it fixed. But the super ironic thing is, we don't want them to fix that yet, anyways, because that is the only way, well, other than failing and going to orbit and coming back, the only way to fix this soft lock that's happening, Des, where what'll happen is like the bubbles at the end don't reappear, so we can't take out the last bit of ads, even though we finished the mechanic for that level. Well, guess what weapon it is? It's the colony. You can use that to get through the
Yes, I do remember them saying something
impenetrable
about that.
shields.
That's funny.
I guess
Probably
it
has-
like somehow sneaks in through some hole in their foot and get
It's
past
gotta
the
be-
shields.
I mean, you would say that as a joke, but that could legitimately also be it. Like there might be some clipping issue somewhere
Yeah.
around the floor
Right. Right.
that somehow. I mean, I'm not surprised because again, it's probably some issue like that, considering how unique the colony's munitions are.
I know. Because what other weapon could literally probably go at the lowest part of the Guardian and work its way up? And when I say lowest,
yeah.
it could even be maybe there's like, or sorry, well, not just Guardians because I'm just thinking PvP, but like PvE enemies too. But maybe like when enemies have shields, they're all around them but not below them. But our weapons normally that doesn't matter. But somehow Colony like sneaks underneath and then can work its way up.
Wasn't that an issue for Vault of Glass? Or no, that was a Prometheus
Yeah.
lens, wasn't it? There was something that could bypass the shields.
It might have been
After
that.
after Templar, when you first hit not Atheon but pre-Atheon.
Yeah, it says
Confluxes?
Minotaur
There we go.
shields and confluxes, but was it that weapon?
Yeah, I don't know if it was Colony or not, but I know it was a weapon, and
Prometheus.
of course, was it Prometheus? Yeah, okay. Thanks, Mile.
Well, speaking of Prometheus, I have a build I really like right now, and I kind of have been putting in the new loadouts area in the game, so I like that feature. And I have 2 strand loadouts and 2 solar loadouts, and of course, a lot of Warlocks have been working on that Starfire protocol with the double fusion grenades. But I switched to a newer loadout that I found recommended again from Plunder. I like this one even better, and it uses dun 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 the exotic ugly looking Don Chorus helmet, which did just come out with an ornament. So this is the first time I've put money in the silver store in probably about a year or so. So I did buy the ornament, and it pairs with,
Fair.
believe it or not, because it's Don Chorus, but I'm using firebolt grenades again. I haven't used those forever. And Prometheus lens is hot right now, especially with the what did they add to it? The scorch and
Yeah, Scorch. It's actually it actually applies Scorch decks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hadn't had the catalyst completed on Prometheus, but luckily these trace rifles are very quick to get the catalysts done. I remember when I pounded out the Arc one a couple seasons ago, and that went quick too. But yeah, the Prometheus lens is fun right now.
I mean, it's a like trash mouth just machine.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
it's literally what it's designed for.
It is, but it's really good on moderately high level stuff too, especially with, I love the new mod system, by the way. I know a lot of people don't like it, but it makes it easy to do things such as I have 2 solar weapon surges on, and and with this, and it does basically a 17% damage increase.
Yeah, and and the surges operate like when you have an armor charge, you basically have a timer of enhanced weapon or damage of that element, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just wanted to be 100% certain on surges. Because I've seen this term thrown around, but I haven't. For once, I haven't like deep dove into a lot of like the mods and such, and the new shinies.
Yeah. Yep. And then I got a couple. You definitely want some special ammo finder. I got double special ammo finder on, which really helps the trace rifles. I think of it being a special weapon and how much ammo it actually can get. It's actually a pretty good special weapon in PvE.
Oh yeah, I
Experiences.
mean, it's like with, I mean, even back in the day, like with the appropriate, or once they actually made mods for trace rifles, they actually became pretty good primaries to use in PvP.
Yeah. Yeah, Prometheus Laser Tag Trials Weekend or whatever that was.
I do remember that.
Oh no, even after that, like, but yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, once they actually came out with the mods, where it's like, oh yeah, well, before they stopped working like that in PvP, but yeah, there was a brief time, like I said, where trace rifles can make a decent primary.
Yeah.
But yeah, good times, good times.
Yeah.
Also, Trials laser tag.
Trials Laser Tag.
Oh, that was a time.
All right. Well, we talked about TWAB stuff. We talked about what we've been doing. We can certainly go into Guardian Hub After Dark stuff too, but let's see if there's anything else on our minds we want to get out this week in the main show. I know you're dying to say something else, Sen.
Something else.
Oh, come
There
on.
you have it.
Any other live updates?
No, I've just been jumping around in Niamuna, like just shooting stuff, and I really do need to set my loadouts. You were talking about Strand there a little bit. Shout out to Aeronite. I chatted with him a little bit earlier today, and we talked a little bit about Strand, and he showed me a Synthesept Strand build that I saved a video of that I really want to try out. I don't have my Synthesepts up to level yet, but it kind of just got me to the point where I was thinking, I do a lot of swapping around and just switching subclasses and don't pay too much, mind to the mods that I'm using. And now with the loadout system in game, I really, really want to do that. I want to set armor and stuff specifically for these builds so I can swap them on a moment's notice.
Yeah, and let's give a shout out to that new Discord that he has, and maybe we can put it in the show notes too. He started up a Discord called End Muser Gaming Community, and just looks like it's just general gaming news, right? Is that kind of the feel you have?
Yeah, general gaming, collectible, like gaming, like collections. He has a YouTube channel that goes along with it, but yeah, general gaming and such.
Yeah,
entertainment.
So everyone, check that out if you want. He was nice enough. I think, did he do that for you to send post invites all over? I don't know. Maybe you were telling me about it. You got something before me, I think. I don't even know. And all of a sudden, I was busy today, and then you're messaging me about a new Discord or something. And usually, I get in these Discords before you do.
I'm trying to be ahead of you for once.
For once,
once in my life, I am trying to win. That is all.
And then you have to go back to work tomorrow, and it won't last.
Correct. But I did clean up all the notifications. I tried to clean out everything that I could. So, if I saw a new notice come through, I could quickly go and see if it's something that I would be interested in. Obviously, I don't get notified on everything like I do in our Discord, but, it'd be just nice to try to keep up for once and try to be more community focused.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we'll find out, actually. Believe it or not, it's not open invite on the server, so I'll find out if we're allowed to do invites. I don't see why not, and if we are, we'll put that in the show notes, or somewhere in the Discord.
Absolutely.
But we will see. All right. Well, I don't know. I mean, we were talking for hours on the other podcasts this last week, so we don't have to go long today. But again, let's have some After Dark show. But before we do that, also, we'll do some business of reminding people. I mean, you guys know that you're cool already, but we want to remind everyone else that we have some great supporters of the show, and we have a Patreon for our Discord, and we are free. Don't worry, you don't have to pay for anything, but we want to give shout outs to people that have done the Patreon, and I do need to actually, geez, that's right, because Patreon made the changes and not everyone connected their Discord, so our Discord's not going to show the complete list. Sin.
Or
Let's talk to you
shade.
for a second.
So yeah, while we unmuddy the Patreon waters, we'll let Kingsley do his stuff in the background. Yeah, we were talking earlier about me cleaning up my Discord, so I jumped in like Kingsley calls me a bull in a china shop when it comes to Discord sometimes. Like I was in a lot of channels, a lot of Discords chatting. I got rid of one earlier today, added a new one. Again, shout out to R.I.P on that one. And just really tried to dive in and chat with people and when I could. And it was nice because once I got all the notifications cleared, I actually was able to, see when there were pings in other Discords, and I was able to check them quicker. So fingers crossed that I can keep that going.
Yeah. All right. I will get this cleaned up in our Discord also. But basically, and I'll see if I have to interpolate any names here. But we have Average D2 Player. Thank you very much. We have Rodimus. We have Exo. We have Dorath. Merrick. This person, I can't say the name, but I'll have to see what it relates to. We have Scoot, Fiery Pink Yoda, All Thumbs. It's Stud Muffin? No, I already called you out, Rodimus, didn't I? Anyways, we got all Thumbs and Fuck Up. Oh, sorry. Don't say that. Not before After Dark.
This is pre-After Dark.
I know. We got Red Grackle. We got Laz. We have Gator. We got Kato. I don't want to say his actual name. And we got Mr. Monkey. And one other that I will at least call out by next week. I don't know who your gamer tag is, and I'm not. Oh, Lord Master Chaos. Look at that. He did connect his. Thank you very much, sir.
Business doing pleasure.
Yeah.
Huzzah.
We really appreciate all you. I mean,
Indeed.
I hadn't logged into here for a bit. It's starting to add up a little bit. We're going to have another contest here.
We'll
give away some prizes. So,
if not, I'm building a new PC.
No, it's not that much money, Sin.
I know.
Yeah.
We'll save that for onlysins.com, even though it's a thing, but not really.
Yep. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Also, please consider reviewing our show if you so do desire and you haven't done that yet. There's a link in the show notes on how to do that. It just helps us get found a little bit easier. But you know what? We don't even care. Whoever finds this show is great, and we love you all. If you found our show or not, however you found us, we really appreciate listening. But the best conversations can definitely be had in the Discord. And we have a live show recording most Thursday nights around what time, Sin?
9 p.m. God's time.
You were almost worried. Was there some kind of hard question there, huh?
I know, right?
I muted because I was coughing there for a second. I didn't want it to come through because I that's what happens when you vape and talk a lot. You cough.
Gotcha. All right. Well, with that, where can the lovely listeners find the hosts of the show, starting with Des?
You can find me on Twitter at @DS_Raven, where you might be able to reach me, perhaps. But I still haven't downloaded that app. It's kind of a proud accomplishment this far, actually. But anyway, you can most likely find me across a myriad of Discords. And why not just throw more at me to join? Yeah. So yeah, there's that. Sin!
You can find me saving Des Raven. We're playing the game. Or on Twitter at Sin_media. And of course, in the Discord next to you, two lovely gents. Kingsley, Orange Dreamsicle Mac. Take us out.
How do you know I like orange dreamsicles?
I don't. I was referring to your emblem.
Okay,
but now we
gotcha.
do.
Yes, it is an orange dreamsicle emblem. All right, you can find me as Kingsley Mac all the places, on Twitter occasionally, in the Discord, on Twitch occasionally. in the Discord. That's all that matters. You can find our show on Twitter at The Guardian Hub or on our lovely website with all the above information. As mentioned, theguardianhub.com.
The best hub on the net.
Thank you, Sin. Thank you, Des.
Thank you, Kingsley.
You're welcome. And stick around for Guardian Hub After Dark. We appreciate you all and see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Exit music, exit music, exit music.
Now I won't be able to find it as easy because of that. Thank you.
If anyone wants to talk, raise your hand, or if you have permissions, you can bring yourself up. Or, who knows?
Request it.
Show request to speak.
That's
I could have brought myself up.
I'm like, do I have to click you?
It literally pops up in chat too. It's so much nicer. You can just click it from there.
What's up, Mohafo, too? How you doing?
How's it going?
Good.
Here you go,
good.
Mo. I'll even put on the
Sports
video
bra? Is that
for
what
you.
you were going to say?
I'm gonna put on the video so you can see what I'm wearing, and they're not khakis.
Ooh, jorts.
You can't even
Jorts.
see from the waist down, but I want
Okay.
you to imagine.
I'm tuning in now. Oh my goodness.
Now, was that an oh my goodness, like, look away, look away?
I'm just seeing Sin's face. No, I'm kidding. No, it's
My
okay.
eyes.
No, it's been a while since I've seen you on stream or something. So
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
you too can see Sin's face if you join the After Dark show.
yeah, and that's literally the only reason I even joined the chat. Really, let's be honest.
Hey, nice.
All right.
We're gonna make sure we pop it up next round for you so you can see me all the time.